Hey guys, it's Tim, and this is Pro Wrestling Unlimited as we are here on the 25th of November, 2019 to talk about everything that went down tonight on Monday Night Raw. Tonight's Monday Night Raw was a decent show. I feel like we've kind of had better shows. I expected more from tonight's Raw, as probably many did. Coming out of Survivor Series. Nothing you can say major happened tonight. At least I didn't think so. It's going to be interesting to see where that main event angle goes. There's a lot of speculation already. And yeah, we'll see how it goes. But now, let's see who's with us in the live chat. We do got Ruben Rodriguez, Kristen McNutt, Dontrell Bailey, Henry McKenna Carvalho, Woken King Slender. We got Daniel Espazo. I hope I said that right. Blue Fire, Hunter Does Games, Joe Decker, Daniel Molinax, and so many more of you. So, tonight's Monday Night Raw was an interesting one. As far as the way it started and the way it ended. Now, the show started with the Raw roster around the ring and the crowd already chanting for CM Punk. And Seth Rollins starts going off on the locker room. On the roster, I guess you could say. Calling everybody losers, saying they all suck. And a lot of people online, Seth just turned heel. Was that a heel turn by Seth? I hope that's a heel turn. I even tweeted. I said, maybe if this is not a heel turn, what the hell is this? And I heard this may not be a full-blown heel turn by Seth. It could be. But as far as him becoming a 100% quote-unquote heel, that decision has not been made. So it'll be interesting to see where this does lead to. But Seth was out there saying, you know, we sucked last night at Survivor Series. You guys, you roster, you all sucked. But he can't say everybody on the Raw roster sucked at Survivor Series. Because Viking Raiders won their match. They defeated both the New Day and the Undisputed Era. Pinning on, Kyle O'Reilly? So I wish someone would have been like, or at least they would have been like, hey, buddy, we won our match. But no. He then looks at Randy Orton, and Seth goes, Randy, you got anything to say, old Randy Orton? You were the weakest link last night. Randy looks at him and goes, meh, and walks off. He's looking around the ring and says, hey, AOP, you guys didn't even show up last night. We don't need you. So, hold on. Read something here in the chat. Ben Mitchell? No truth to that. Kristen said where was Becky? And Ben Mitchell said that she's in hot water due to the ending of Survivor Series. How so? Nothing wrong happened in her match. The match was kind of a lame duck of a match. A little boring, some may say. Vince maybe didn't like it, but she's not in hot water because nothing went wrong in the match. Nothing, what's the word I'm looking for? Everything that happened in the match was what was planned to happen in the match. So, to say that Becky's in hot water because of what happened in her match, 100% untrue, because they did nothing wrong. Anyways, so Seth tells AOP that they're not needed because they didn't even show up at Survivor Series. And this is Charlotte Flair. You're supposed to be the leader of the women. Ben Mitchell, no. He said what she said when she put Shayna through the table. Yeah, okay. What, because she swore She used some foul language. Dakota Kai used foul language on Saturday night, and they loved it. Everybody loved that entire sequence. I don't know where you're getting your information, Mr. Ben Mitchell. But if you're talking about... So tell me what was it that she said? Am I missing something here? Because I know after she pushed Anna through the table, she was cussing. If that's what you're saying she got in hot water for, 100% no truth to that whatsoever. That's what muting the audio is for. Dakota Kai was cussing on Saturday. They loved it. They're not against swearing as long as it's in a way that they can bleep it and it doesn't come off in a bad way as far as, oh yeah, we had to bleep that because they said it intentionally or it was written in the script. No. If someone's in the heat of the moment and they say, oh, you mother... Yeah, I got you. But it's like not in the ring on a live mic, no problem with that. Like I said, Ben, she cussed. They muted the audio. All good. Dakota Kai cussed up a storm on Saturday night after she attacked, what's it called? Tegan Knox. I was told everybody was 100% completely satisfied and couldn't be happier with the Dakota Kai heel turn. All aspects of it. And Ben, you say Dean did an interview saying it's not right to cuss. Yeah, not right to cuss in your promo. Not right to cuss in your promo on a live mic in the ring or backstage. But when you're in the heat of the moment and it helps further the intensity of the moment, they can, like I said, mute it, bleep it, whatever they want to do. So again, Seth goes to Charlotte and says, hey, you're supposed to be the locker room leader for the women. You're supposed to be the top woman here. What do you have to say? You weren't even the last person left for your team last night. And Charlotte walks off. Anthony Manzano, Charlotte turned heel like the week after she came to Raw. Or babyface, I mean. Ron says, anybody else want to stand up and say something? Does anybody else want to talk about what happened last night? And he even said Mysterio let everybody down the most of anybody. He's like, I beat Brock Lesnar twice this year. You couldn't even beat him once with a lead pipe and your stupid son. Mysterio walks away. Crowd starts chanting asshole. Joe Decker, he didn't call out her dad per se. He just said, oh, you call yourself a Flair? That's what Randy said. So, as Ray goes to leave, everybody goes to leave. Except for one man. And that one man was Kevin Owens. Seth Rollins calls him Mr. NXT. Rollins told Owens how much he loves Raw and said that the whole thing wasn't about him. This isn't about him. It's about Monday Night Raw. He called Owens a lazy piece of crap who doesn't do anything. Rollins figured Owens wanted his spot, but assured him that he will never be Seth Rollins. Owens teased it like he was going to say something, but instead gave him a stunner. So, you can say that might have been a heel turn, but at the same time, he was only speaking the truth. He didn't say anything that he wouldn't have said in an interview recently or on Twitter. Oh, we got a super chat donation from Fire King Atlas. Says, who do you think can replace Seth as the top face? I think we saw that tonight. If this was a legit heel turn from Seth Rollins, I think they may end up pushing Kevin Owens as the babyface. The top babyface on Monday Night Raw. You need another anyways. You need to start building up more babyfaces anyways. I don't think that's going to be Rey Mysterio as like the tippy top second, number 2, number 1 babyface. I don't think that's going to be Ricochet. McIntyre, I think he's still a heel. I'll get to that in a minute. Randy Orton, he's not going to be up there at the top anymore. He's going to be doing what he has to do to help get others over. So I think if this was a heel turn from Seth, which I don't know still if it is, Anthony, I will talk about that when we talk about the main event segment because I got something to say. But, like I said, if this was, which we still don't know if it 100% is, if this was a heel turn by Seth, Kevin Owens is perfect to be the top babyface on Raw. So, after the break, Rollins spoke with Charlie Caruso and challenged Owens to a match. Out would come Bobby Lashley and Lana, as Bobby Lashley was going to take on Titus O'Neil. Match went about a minute, and then it ended in disqualification. Rusev came down. So, backstory. Earlier in the day, Rusev was entering the building, the Allstate Arena. And there was somebody trying to get to him. Security was holding him back. He said, let him in. I'll sign him an autograph. And instead of signing an autograph, the guy goes, "You've been served by the court of Illinois. Here are your papers." Something along those lines. And there was a restraining order saying that he couldn't even be in the building because Lana had a restraining order on him. So, to this match. Rusev runs down and, minute in, attacks Bobby Lashley. Lana screaming at Rusev, beating on him. Rusev's beating on Lashley. The crowd's chanting for Rusev. They fight up the ramp. They fight at the top of the stage. Rusev clears the announce table, but a swarm of police come and put him in cuffs. Then, Rusev, I guess you could say, shoulder checks Bobby Lashley off the stage. Maybe a 2-3 foot drop. And Lashley's out of it. Then as Rusev's getting pulled away, he knocks down a little lighting rig on top of Bobby Lashley. Bobby Lashley then needed to be brought out on a stretcher and with a neck brace on. And my thought was, Lashley falls 2-3 feet off the stage. This lighting structure thing falls on him, but doesn't really hit him. And he needs to be brought out on a stretcher. Yet Adam Cole and Tommaso Ciampa fell off the top of a steel cage and went through a table and walked out on their own. Okay. Logic. It's WWE's best thing. So, we come back after a commercial break. They showed us during the break, Lashley was brought off on a stretcher, and then AOP are in the ring to take on Hawkins and Ryder. I'm reading something in the chat here really fast. Right before they went. I didn't catch that because my USA Network literally just cut right off. So Justin's saying that at the end of the show you can hear Seth yelling at Owens, "We can change back Raw." I didn't catch that. Again, as Seth gave the second curb stomp, USA Network just cut to what was next. So I don't know about that. So AOP taking on Hawkins and Ryder. They won quickly in less than a minute and a half. Cool. On commentary, Jerry Lawler said that he's siding with Rollins. Vic Joseph asked him when was the last time he saw a beating like the AOP just handed out. And said last night when NXT did a number on Raw. We then got Andrade versus Tozawa. A lot of short matches here tonight. This match only went 2.5 minutes. Tozawa countered a powerbomb into a Hurricane Rana and followed it up with a damn impressive snap German suplex. Andrade responded by simply tripping him off the top rope. Andrade followed up with double knee strikes in the corner, hammerlock DDT, and the victory. Aleister Black then cut a promo on Buddy Murphy, so at least he's got someone to centralize and focus his promos on now. We then see that Matt Hardy's back with OG Hardy Boys music, and 1998 ring gear. Matt Hardy lost to Buddy Murphy tonight in 3 minutes. Murphy gave Hardy a super kick and tossed him around ringside. Hardy came back with a side effect, a clothesline, back elbow, and an elbow off the middle rope. Murphy countered a twist of fate and followed up with 3 consecutive knee strikes for the victory. Crowd really liked seeing Matt here. They chanted delete. Matt did 1 delete swipe during the match, and I was completely flabbergasted and shocked. I was like, wait, that's Matt Hardy, right? Interesting. So, we'll see. Going forward, Murphy, like I said, did have a bloody nose. He grabbed a mic after the match and called out Black. Black came out and knocked Murphy from the ring with a series of strikes. Murphy stumbled his way around ringside as the crowd lightly chanted Alistair. Murphy teased jumping back in and then backed off. We then learned on SmackDown this coming Friday, we will be getting a new Firefly Funhouse and a new face will join the Funhouse. So, AJ Styles was supposed to defend the WWE United States Championship against Humberto Carrillo. Match never happened. Styles came out alone. And then, after Humberto was coming out, Gallows and Anderson attacked him and beat him down. Carrillo fought off Anderson, but Gallows slammed him against the ring apron. Then they slammed him against the steel steps. Ricochet would come down to check on Humberto. Styles asked him if Carrillo was okay. Styles then wondered what kind of superhero Ricochet was if he couldn't even get out here in time to save his buddy. Ricochet wondered what has become of Styles and said that he sends his friend, if he sends his friends to the back, who might take that title from him? Maybe him. Ricochet challenged AJ to a title match. Crowd chanted yes. Styles said no. He only agreed to come out here and fight Humberto. That ain't happening now. And then out would come Randy Orton. Randy Orton would then challenge AJ Styles to a title match. AJ said no. Randy figured that the people of Chicago would love to see Styles eat an RKO. AJ reminded Orton that the last time they fought was on a bigger, better stage, better city than Chicago, brighter lights. It was WrestleMania, and AJ came out victorious. He said, I already beat both of you. Why should I have to face you? Which, that begs the question, why did you agree to face Humberto if you were to beat him twice with the title on the line? AJ says he has nothing to prove against guys he's already defeated, and out would come Drew McIntyre. He would also challenge AJ to a match for the WWE United States Championship. He said that he was tall, dark, handsome, and had a sexy accent. He said, last night, I defeated a champion, the UK champion Walter. Crowd booed. McIntyre said Styles should fight him, and this would be the first time ever. Styles claimed, oh, no, I'm too sore from a gym injury I sustained earlier. But you were okay to fight Humberto. I get it. You had your buddies come down. You weren't ever planning on having the match anyways. Then Rey Mysterio would come out. He said Styles couldn't be as beat up as him and didn't want to cheat the Chicago people out of a title match that they were thinking they were getting tonight. Mysterio then challenged AJ to a match. Styles said, no again out of principle because none of you deserve it, which AJ was 100% in the right there. What did any of them do to deserve a shot at the United States Championship? So my first thought with these 6 guys, 5 guys, and maybe Humberto in the mix. 6-man ladder match, U.S. title, TLC. No, that's not what we got. Would have been bomb as hell. Would have been a yes, sir, but it was a no. Instead, Ricochet suggested, okay, you think we don't deserve it? How about the 4 of us face off in a fatal 4-way tonight, and the winner faces you for the title tonight. Styles said, "That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard," and asked Gallows and Anderson to back him up on it. They both go, "Well, actually, not a bad idea. Actually, pretty cool." Styles was frustrated but said, "Fine, we'll do that." There was then a commercial for NXT, which included the voiceover guy saying, "How can you not watch?" Okay. I also called it the A+ show. Or the A show or whatever. So we got a number one contender fatal 4-way match here. With Rey Mysterio, Ricochet, Randy Orton, and Drew McIntyre. Match went about 14 minutes or so. There was a cool spot when McIntyre was hanging upside down on a turnbuckle, suplexed Orton and Mysterio off the ropes. After a commercial break, there was a spot where McIntyre gave Orton a hard chop. Orton just stood there and took it. So, he repaid the favor. Gave McIntyre a hard chop. Little chop back and forth action. Mysterio then reappeared into the match, used a springboard into a small package on Ricochet to pick up the victory. So AJ Styles will now be facing Rey Mysterio, the man who lost a frickin' title match last night. Match goes 15 minutes. Great match between AJ and Rey, though. Styles was dominating early and tried to lawn dart Mysterio into the turnbuckle, but Rey countered, and Styles went into it instead. Mysterio went for a 619, but Anderson tripped him. Referee figured it out and tossed the OC. After the break, Styles went for a running basement dropkick, but Mysterio moved, and Styles crotched himself into the post. Mysterio followed this up with a seated senton, head scissor takedown, fists in the corner, wheelbarrow bulldog, only got a 2. As they fought for position on the top, Mysterio bit Styles' finger, but Styles came back anyways with the Ushigoroshi for a 2. Mysterio followed that with a code red for a near fall. Mysterio hit a 619, but Styles fell back into the referee, knocking him down. Mysterio went for the cover, but of course, ref down. The OC ran back down, put the boots to Mysterio, and Orton would run down in favor of Rey Mysterio. So I don't know if Randy Orton's subtly turning heel or babyface or what. Mysterio would then give Styles a 619. Orton. So this is a cool sequence. Mysterio gives Styles a 619, and usually when someone takes a 619, they take a back bump. They fly off the ropes, take just a back bump. But when AJ did it, he flew back off the ropes, but turned himself, and boom, right into an RKO. Cool little sequence there. Rey then hits a frog splash as the referee finally starts to awaken. And 1, 2, 3, AJ Styles is your new WWE United States Champion. Crowd went absolutely bananas ape shit when that ref counted 3. Dominic would run down to celebrate with his father. He hoisted Rey up on his shoulders as they celebrated. Very exciting moment here. I don't know if I like them taking the title off of AJ, because AJ is great with the belt and it just adds a little more to the Undisputed Era, but to each their own. The time had to come when finally AJ loses the belt. Now, maybe we get AJ and Rey again at TLC. Put that damn thing hanging up above the ring and give us a ladder match. AJ Rey. Whoo, buddy. Charlie Caruso went to interview Kevin Owens, and Owens politely said, "May I just take the mic?" So, he takes the mic and he cuts a promo. An amazing promo. He said that unlike Rollins, he knows who he has been since the first time he laced a pair of wrestling boots 20 years ago. He said he never listened to what people wanted him to be. Everyone always thought that he was different, but he knew what he was and who he was. He said Rollins just wants to be whatever the company wants him to be. And now he's just a whiny, insufferable little prick. He said, "You may call me Mr. NXT, well, Mr. CrossFit. Monday Night Rollins is going to become the Kevin Owens show. So then we got Charlotte Flair versus Osku with Kyra Sain on the outside. And holy crap, Jerry frickin' Lawler. Give me 1 second, guys. So this match starts, and we're not even a minute in. And Vic Joseph tells us what had happened at Survivor Series between Osku and Charlotte. And Lawler literally says, and I quote, I guarantee you last night when Charlotte lost the Survivor Series, her dad, Ric Flair, was looking down on her. Vic Joseph then subtly says, King, what do you mean? Ric Flair's not dead. Boy, howdy. That's all I gotta say. Like, what the hell? So the match goes on, and it's actually not a bad match. These two women get a lot of time here tonight. They went about 17 and a half minutes. So Charlotte was in control until Sain's distraction allowed Osku to hit a running hip attack into the corner. Charlotte came back later with a big boot for a 2. Sain was staring down Charlotte, so Charlotte chased her around the ring and through the crowd. After a break, Charlotte hit a baseball slide drop kick when Osku caught her in the ring with an armbar. Charlotte got out of the armbar right before Osku fully sunk it in. Osku dodged a boot and hit a German suplex. They traded forearms. Then Charlotte hit a backbreaker and a clothesline. Charlotte followed that up with chops and a follow-away slam. Osku used a roll-up but only got a 2. Then Charlotte hit a back suplex. Osku then caught her with a code breaker for a 2. Osku countered a natural selection into an armbar before switching to a triangle choke. Charlotte fought to her feet and applied a Boston Crab, but Osku got a rope break. Osku then kicked Charlotte in the head. Charlotte no-sold it, hit a spear, near fall. Sain returned and distracted Charlotte by jumping up and down at ringside, which was kind of funny. Charlotte went after her for some reason and tossed her into a post. Sain still managed to distract the referee. Then Osku blew an incredible amount of mist all over the face, the hair, the neck, the chest of Charlotte Flair. She was like from where her top cuts the cleavage all the way up to her hair. Completely green. Not just like spots of mist. Completely covered. I don't know if I've ever seen someone use that much of the mist. She then schoolgirled Charlotte. She really raked that schoolgirl in to completely fold Charlotte in half so the referee didn't see it. And she picked up the victory. Osku actually defeated Charlotte tonight. A little clunky at spots, but very enjoyable. And again, I don't like that. Here's the thing. When they do the mist, I don't like how idiotic the referees look. That the ref doesn't notice it. Especially when she used as much as she did today. If she's just using a little and right into the eyes, okay, the ref may not see that. But when you're doing right into the whole body, the ref's got to see that. So then we got a squash match, minute and a half at best. Eric Rowan defeated Kyle Roberts. Roberts slid out to ringside and tried to look inside of what was in Eric Rowan's cage. Eric Rowan said, "Oh, boy, you shouldn't have done that." And Rowan clobbered him, powerbombed him into the post, gave him a choke slam, and pinned him. And in a funny little segment here, the Iconics and R-Truth plugged WWE Shop saying, hey, Black Friday's coming. Truth stole the 24/7 title off the table. I don't know why. I thought he had his own, but okay. The OC were then shown backstage mourning AJ's loss when they were approached by Sarah Schreiber. She didn't say anything, I don't think. She just put the mic in AJ's face, and he went, Randy Orton, and stormed off. Okay. Then they replayed the Rusev, Bobby Lashley angle, and Charlie Caruso interviewed Lana. She said, Lana, what do you have to say about what happened earlier with Bobby Lashley and Rusev? She said, my soon-to-be ex-husband Rusev is not just a danger to me, himself, but to society. She said, he's obsessed with her, and he should be fired. Lana assured everyone that she is going to be okay after what happened to Bobby. And she walked off. So Seth Rollins came down and they stated that Triple H will be on WWE Backstage tomorrow. No mention of CM Punk. WWE on Fox sent out a tweet earlier today saying, don't miss tomorrow's episode of WWE Backstage with Renee Young, Booker T, Paige, Christian, and special guest Triple H from the WWE Performance Center. No mention of CM Punk, so it looks like Punk may not be on Backstage tomorrow. Joe will be on Backstage, hence why he wasn't on Raw tonight, which I don't know why he couldn't do both. But I think on Twitter, Joe said he's returning to commentary next week on Raw. So that's cool. That's cool. So then we got a 14-minute match with Seth Rollins and Kevin Owens that ended in a disqualification. Crowd chanted for Owens as he hit a missile drop kick and a senton for 2. Small group of fans tried to start a CM Punk chant, but it didn't really take. They tried again later in the match, and again, it didn't really take. Rollins hit a sling blade and consecutive suicide dives. Owens came back with a super kick. Rollins grabbed a chair out of frustration. Owens said, bring it. And they went to break. Back from the break, Owens tried a senton off the top, but Rollins got his knees up. Owens managed to come back later with a DDT, spiking Rollins head first. Owens hit a cannonball. Then after Rollins rolled outside of the ring, Owens hit a senton, followed it up with a frog splash for 2. Rollins escaped a pop-up powerbomb attempt. Owens countered a pedigree. Then Rollins hit a blockbuster for 2, followed up with the Falcon Arrow. Again, only got 2. Owens then dodged a stomp into a picture-perfect pop-up powerbomb for the near fall. It's funny, though, that this crowd wanted to do nothing but boo Seth Rollins. Yet, when he did the whole stomp thing, setting up that stomp, that curb stomp, the crowd still said, burn it down, burn it down, burn it down. Like, make up your mind, Chicago. Do you hate him? Or is it like, oh, we're supposed to chant that here, so let's just play along. Steph and Florence, people have been hating Seth since the summer. It's just more prominent now because he's becoming a real McAsshole on Twitter. So Rollins avoided a stunner, and they traded super kicks. Rollins hit an enziguri and another super kick. Then Owens hit a stunner. Before Owens can go for the cover, AOP, wearing suits, would march down to the ring. One looked at one guy. One looked at the other. I don't know which one's Akko and which one Razor. And then they both just went and beat the holy hell out of Kevin Owens. They then turned their attention to Seth Rollins. Rollins is sitting there yelling, bring it on. Come at me. I'm right here. And they just look at Seth before getting out of the ring, walking away. So Seth is, quote unquote, shocked and surprised. And Owens is laid out. Owens is slowly but surely trying to get to his knees, trying to get up on all fours. And Seth takes the advantage, hits him with a curb stomp. Seth then bounces off the ropes, hits him with another curb stomp, and the show goes off the air. So we don't know what is up with the AOP. I like that they've put AOP in possibly a main event segment or story. But are they aligned with Seth now? Are they not aligned with Seth? Did Seth ask them to come out and take out Kevin Owens if it looked like he needed help? Are they his new goons? Are they the new J&J security? Or this JR security? I don't know. AOP. I was trying to come up with a security pun for AOP, but I couldn't think of one. But with that, we have to wait and see. Now we have to wait till next week's Raw to see what's up with AOP and Seth Rollins. Was this a Seth Rollins heel turn tonight? Or was it just Seth Rollins being a little prick? You could still be a babyface, but sometimes be a prick. And here's the other thing. Was this AOP or not aligning with Seth Rollins? Is Seth starting a new group? We'll have to wait and see. But now, I want to hear from you guys. I want to hear what you guys thought of tonight's Monday Night Raw. All you have to do is call 510-906-1341. We have now consolidated everything to the text line. Now does calls and phone and texts. So while we wait for calls to come in, let's hear how you can help a needy child this Christmas not think Santa forgot.
Holidays rolling around, we want to make sure as many children as possible do not go without under their tree this Christmas morning. We here at Pro Wrestling Unlimited are partnering with local organizations that help less fortunate and needy families in what we call Operation Santa Drop. Our goal is to raise as much money as possible to buy toys, clothes, stuffed animals, and more to bring to those families in need so at least one less child goes without this Christmas. If you would like to donate, you can do so at the link in the description below or by going to bit.ly/OpSantaDrop to help a child of this holiday season. Thank you in advance, and let's make this Christmas need. No child should think Santa didn't come.
Sorry about that. I accidentally cut out the audio. My bad. Jason Dalton says, stop deleting my emojis. I haven't changed the emojis in a couple weeks. All the emojis have been the same. But Anthony in the chat says he tried calling the number. He probably called the old Skype number. That number is not available anymore. If you want to call in, you can do so at 510-906-1341. This text message here says, I think I heard Seth say we can do this the easy way or the hard way to KO after Cam cut off. I don't know exactly what you're talking about as far as when the Cam cut off, like at the end of the show. Because literally how I saw it was he hit that stomp and it faded to black. So I don't know exactly when you say you heard that, but let's take this call. Caller, you're on the air. What's going on?
Hi, Tim. How are you?
Pretty good. Yourself?
Fine. I have a question actually.
Go for it.
I wasn't able to watch a show about AEW last week, and I was trying to ask you a question. I had texted you the question during the AEW show, but I don't think you were able to answer it. But if and when AEW sets up a John Moxley-led stable, who would you want in it? What would you name it? Would it be heel, face, or tweener?
A John Moxley stable?
Yeah.
I wouldn't do it at all. John Moxley
So
does
you don't
not,
think his character?
No. His character would not benefit from a stable. His character needs to be on his own. No. It wouldn't work for his character. I don't think so at all.
Oh, and this whole Seth, what is a green mist that Oscar spits in people's faces? Is that an actual paintball she bites on, or is it like food coloring?
I don't know because it's been done multiple different ways in the past, so I don't know exactly how it is that Oscar does it. Because I know some have used.
Do you remember what Tajiri? Yeah, Tajiri used to do it.
Because I know some people in the past have used blood capsules. Some have used. There's been a couple of different things, but I don't know what Oscar uses.
And this was a question I wasn't able to ask for NXT Takeover. Do you think WWE would have had the balls to pull off a big swerve at NXT Takeover with Finn specifically being a double agent for the OC, trying to recruit people behind the scenes on NXT?
Finn's not associated with the Undisputed Era, so that would make no sense.
No, the OC. The OC.
Oh, the OC. Again, that wouldn't make no sense. The OC is a main roster thing. Takeover was not about the main roster whatsoever.
No, that's what I'm saying. They could make it seem like he came back to NXT for...
No, I don't think that would have made any sense whatsoever.
Not being used, but he's trying to...
That would have made no sense. Oh. But with that, I want to say thank you for the call and have a great night.
You too. Have
just looking at the text messages here. This person here does state Seth Rollins versus Kevin Owens at TLC. Good chance, especially since we got no finish here tonight. This person says, what happened to a Becky Lynch segment? What do you mean what happened to a Becky Lynch segment? She was never scheduled to be on the show. Nothing was ever advertised for Becky Lynch. So, and I saw a couple people say this tonight. Where was the Becky segment? What Becky segment? There was no Becky thing ever announced. This person says, do you prefer the new IC title or the old belt? The old one. The new one looks like garbage. It may look okay if it was on a white strap, but I don't like that new belt on a black strap. Caller, you're on the air. What's going on?
Hey, Tim.
How's it going?
So is your old number not available, Tim?
Pardon? I can barely hear you.
Can you hear me now?
There we go.
Okay, I was trying to ask, so is your old number, the 559, not available?
Yeah, we're not using that number anymore because Skype keeps messing up. Skype's not working right. And so we're just going with the number we were using for the text messages.
Okay, and I do have a couple questions.
Go for it.
I think I already read my text earlier about what Rollins said to Kevin. I think that was after the show, like when it went off the air. I think I heard him say that the easy way or the hard way or something like that. Like I heard that when the camera went off, like at the end.
I don't know. I mean, I didn't notice anything, so.
And what do you think of the new IC title?
I don't like it at all.
It's the old one's better.
Oh, yeah. I've seen people. Now, here's the thing. There's been people online that have, like, photoshopped it on a white strap, and it does look better. But it looks better in, photoshopped. I would like to see that belt in person or in real life on a white strap because I think it could look good. But I think the belt on a black strap, and I think there's just too much going on the new belt to where it just looks too muddled on a black strap.
Yeah, I think I like the old one better too.
100 times better.
And also, I was wondering too with what Bray Wyatt said about the new face join. I wonder if that could be like a Daniel Bryan picture hanging on the wall. Like he does that with the other people.
Maybe, but
like
but the way I took it was maybe a new face as far as maybe a new puppet.
Like could you see
I mean, everyone's
him or something for his
they
sister.
They were really vague, so everyone's up to their own. What's the word I'm looking for? Interpretation of what the new face is going to be. Could be a photo on the wall, but it also maybe could be a new puppet.
Okay, and then last question. Would you see the Shield or the AOP kind of helping Seth more? Or do you think that was just for tonight, like a new Shield?
You know as much as I do. I don't know what the AOP Seth Rollins thing is. I don't know if Seth is starting a new group. I don't know if they wanted to just say, hey, you called us out this earlier today. Here's what we can actually do. I don't know if it was just them wanting to show themselves to Seth. I don't know if Seth directed it. And we'll have to wait till next week to find out.
All right, well, thanks, Tim.
All right, thanks for the call and have a great night. I'm just looking here at the text messages before we do wrap things up. Person is excited for Matt Hardy to come back. Says Matt Hardy is back. I was a little excited too. Then he lost really quick. And it could have been a one-off thing. Who knows if they're going to bring Matt again on next week. But with that, I do want to say thank you guys for joining me here live to talk about everything that went down tonight on Monday Night Raw. Thank you for listening later as well. If you do, maybe you missed the beginning of the show and wanted to go back and hear the beginning. Or if you missed most of it and want to listen on podcast services all around the world, that's great as well. Thank you guys for listening. We will be live again tomorrow night with the PW Unlimited podcast, me and Nick. So with that, have a great night, and we'll see you tomorrow.